All right, welcome to another episode of Between the Branches in Your Neighborhood, presented by Carnell Homes Incorporated in partnership with Kokoye Realty. I'm your host, Joshua Carnell, fellow veteran and local realtor here in Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, and surrounding areas. For today's guest, I have with me Scott Hughes. Scott is a Navy veteran and owner of Hughes Homestead Design in Albuquerque. How you doing, Scott?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for coming on the show.
Sure.
Yeah. So Navy vet. So how long were you in the Navy?
Was in 9 years.
9 years. All right. Yeah, I did 12 in the Air Force. So, what was your job in the Navy?
So I was on a submarine, and I was an electrician. We did all the electrical on the boat and ran the electrical plant and some of the steam plant in the engine room.
All
So
right. All right. So being on the boat and stuff, you get to go to a lot of ports, or was all your work done at ports?
no, I had the luxury. They called them, I think, floating hotels or something like that. The Trident submarines, and we were only with the ship every 90 days at a time.
Okay.
So we would come in, hand over the boat, do some work with it, and then watch it go with the other crew. And the other crew would take it out to sea for however many, 90 days or whatever, 80 days, and come
Okay.
back. So, being as it was a missile submarine and highly strategic, it wasn't allowed to go to all those fun ports in the Mediterranean and all
I
that.
got you. I got you.
We got to go to Halifax, Nova Scotia for our one and only port call.
All right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you have fun while you were in the military?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't regret it. I'm not. I don't know if I'd do it again, but I was glad to get out.
Right. So what was your reason for joining?
My reason for joining was I hadn't taken high school seriously enough to get a scholarship to get out of town, and Dad and I weren't getting along anymore, so I needed to go.
I, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So by being in the Navy, were you able to like use your GI Bill and all that?
Yeah, I completely depleted my GI Bill after I got
All
out.
right.
So,
All right.
and yeah,
What'd you wind up getting a degree in?
I started a degree in engineering, electrical engineering, but the school I was going to and the job I had a very nice job, and the job I had, the school would only offer daytime engineering classes. Once I got through all the calculus and chemistry and all that stuff,
Right.
there were no electrical classes at night. So I switched majors and switched schools and went for a bachelor's in IT at the time.
Okay. All right.
Got it in about 2002 or three. So it was a new field at the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it was a good field to pick
Yeah,
that
definitely.
that early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got out and you said you worked a few jobs and everything, got your degree.
Yep.
Hughes Homestead Design. What started you looking at running your own business?
Just a few too many really bright, good ideas that I'd never taken advantage of in my life.
I
Uh,
gotcha.
Back in the mid 2000s, I was playing video games with my brother-in-law, and we were playing head to head. And I just thought, it'd be a brilliant idea to open up a lounge and put 20 games in there and just rent CDs and like a pool hall instead of.
Right.
And this was before online gaming,
Right.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
it would have. And I saw people do it actually a couple of years later, but
Right.
I just didn't have any investment, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to go about all that. So
Yeah. So when I was stationed, where was I at? I want to say I was at Nellis. So we'd have like some Friday nights where it would be like super
yeah,
like dead and everything, and kids would go home that lived on base. They'd go home and bring in like their huge screen TVs, and we'd set up two TVs back to back and play like Halo tournaments
yeah,
and stuff. So yeah, that would have been a great idea.
yeah. So just too many of those brilliant ideas that I just let go in my past, and I'm just like, all right, well, I've been doing this woodworking, and I have good ideas here too. So let's make a go of this instead of looking back in 20 years and
Right. Yeah.
regretting never taking a chance or anything.
Right. Hughes Homestead, like, how long have you been in business with that?
We've been selling products for about a year and a half, and we've been incorporated over a year. We did it with the wrong name at first or something. I can't remember. We had two different EINs and licenses and all that. So
I gotcha.
about a year and a half.
All right. So what kind of products do you make?
Well, we started out using our land that we had gotten into. We the pandemic drove us out of the city and into the country. We're down in the South Valley, big um, uh, agricultural area and stuff like that. And we started making jellies and using our excess produce and stuff like that. And
Right.
I kept up with the woodworking, and I just the passion of making food and stuff just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I switched over to offering woodworking products, mostly cutting boards, charcuterie boards, a few things beyond that.
All
And
right.
as I went through that business, kind of got into a CNC machine,
Oh, nice.
and then after the CNC machine, I started to see the laser machines, laser engraving,
Right.
and that all, it just goes back to being a IT geek and
Right. Just writing the
doing automation
programs.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
computer coding, and it's like, okay, this is all making good
Right.
sense to overlap skill sets.
Right. Yeah. So it's interesting. You said you started out selling jellies and jams and stuff like that. My last guest that I had, her and her husband both retired Navy,
Mhm.
and they live in Corrales. And she has like they have their own little farm, and that's all she does is
Yeah.
like jams, jellies, and wool and everything else. And it's you got to be passionate about it to stick with it.
Yeah, I don't have enough. One of the things we try to do, and woodworking, it's a little more difficult, but we are New Mexico Truth certified, so we buy product anywhere we mostly from New Mexico when we can and everything like
Right.
that. But with all the jellies and jams, we always tried to say at least one ingredient and 50% of the product was made on our property. And we still do make the jellies, but it's just not the focus anymore. And
Right.
I kind of reached the top of, I have 20 plus fruit trees, and that's a lot, but to go or scale any bigger, you're stuck between being small and trying to,
Right.
and it's like I'm not gonna buy truckloads of plums to make
Right.
plum jelly. I'm
Right.
gonna
Right.
use what I have, and
Yep.
kind of ran out, so it didn't. It just wasn't as viable
I got
to
you.
maintain.
The woodworking though, like everybody loves the woodworking stuff. Yeah. So everybody's got an idea, and it's awesome to see it made and come to fruition and
Yeah.
everything like that. So that's awesome. So with Hughes Homestead, and you said you've always had like a lot of ideas that you don't want to give up anymore. Are you doing anything else, like any other businesses or in the works, or
No,
no?
I'm totally overwhelmed at my two 8-hour jobs.
That's understandable.
I mean,
Understandable.
I could see, in the future, maybe spinning something else up or something like that. But
Right.
right now, I am just starting to employ one of my buddies part time, and
Okay.
I would have to hire a whole staff to do all that, and then be able to do another venture. And
Right.
who knows? I don't think so.
Yeah. We'll see. Time will tell, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So with your products and everything that you do for woodworking for Hughes Homestead, like you do a lot of shows and events and stuff.
Yeah, right now we're doing a lot of the business plan has us doing a lot of craft shows. We are normally at Los Ranchos Art Market. We're a half year, or what they call a part-time vendor, which puts us there 2 weekends a month. And then we fill in with other shows and big shows like the Wine Fest or the Jerky Fest
I
or
got you.
Chocolate Coffee Fest, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's awesome. My wife does like the chocolate and coffee fest and wine fest. She didn't do any this year.
Yeah.
She's taking a little time off from vending because it's exhausting.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I mean, I don't ever want to give that up
Right,
because being face to face with my customers and seeing what they like and seeing how they react to the products and everything like that is just invaluable.
right,
You're never going to have a good business without listening to your customers.
right,
And if I mean, I do want to shift business to online and spend weekends maybe making stuff
right,
instead of setting up a show and going to it, you know.
right.
So, but currently we're on the show path right now. So
All right.
hopefully we're talking about our schedule next year, and we're looking at doing a little less bigger stuff. You
I
know,
got you.
so
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
So, of course, when you go to shows and stuff, that you have your standard products,
Mm-hmm.
and you do a lot of custom work as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Last weekend we were at Rio Rancho High School, and I think I picked up 4 custom orders. One was a set of coasters for, I just dropped them off to another lady for her wedding anniversary. Another lady bought 2 Christmas presents with the pre-made, or not pre-made, but cutting boards, and they had a logo on them. So we changed the logo from, we're changing it from Dad's Bar and Grill to like Paul's Bar and Grill,
Okay.
and it personalization is huge, and it's an amazing
Right.
business
Right.
model
Yeah, and
itself.
it sounds like you got all the equipment to do it right and to make your life a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, one thing that we didn't discuss earlier, but that I like to, sorry about that. I like to kind of bring up in the show. Sorry, my brain's been everywhere. So, do you do anything to like give back to the community?
Yes, we currently we contribute to the Roadrunner Food Bank
Cool.
regularly, and we're looking for some other opportunities as we grow up a little bit. More, the Roadrunner Food Bank was a natural choice when we were, you know, selling jellies and stuff like that,
Right.
and fruit and produce and jams. But I my wife has been bringing up one of the not, it wasn't Wounded Warrior, it was another one in that area, and I think that'll be the next one that we pick up is probably a homeless veteran or veteran mental health outreach, something like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's always good to give back to the community as
yeah.
we do these things. So, yeah. So Scott, we'll have your information and everything. Do you have anything else for me?
No,
Nope.
I don't know. I'm on
Yeah,
the spot here.
yeah, I know, I know. So, Scott, I do want to thank you for coming out and doing the interview with us and telling a little bit about your business, a little bit about your military career and everything. And yeah, we appreciate it. And all of Scott's information, contact information, will be down in the description when we load the video. So feel free, reach out to him. We'll have his website there as well. So feel free to check that out. And don't forget to follow and subscribe and keep up with all my people that I'm interviewing. And you never know, you might find a little small business here in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho that you never heard of before. That may be just something that you need. So again, thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next time.